Hi there! Thank you for joining us for Hobbies, Crafts, and Collectibles today here on WEIU. I'm your host, Duska Cornwell. Tonight we have two guests, as usual. We will be talking with Virginia Kastl. She's from Lerna, Illinois, and she has a beautiful ruby red glass collection. Also, we'll be talking with a pin turner. He's got quite the skill. His name is Tom Grissom from Greenup, Illinois, and he'll be sharing his art with us. Stay tuned. I'm glad to introduce to you today Virginia Kastl from Lerna, Illinois. Virginia, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Your beautiful collection. I have to ask, first question, might seem obvious, but what's your favorite color?
Burgundy.
I could tell that you had a favorite color in the red family, your beautiful shirt and this lovely glass. Now, I had a grandmother-in-law that collected some ruby red. What got you started?
My mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
She gave me these glasses here one year when she moved into Mattoon, and I just started collecting it then.
Well, what's special about this glass that she gave you?
Meta Gold Dairy in Mattoon used to be in Mattoon, and they put cottage cheese in them one year at Christmas time.
Oh.
And my father-in-law worked there, and all the day-old stuff they brought back to the dairy, and he would bring it home, and she kept the glasses.
I see. So it would have had some kind of...
it had a lid on
lid.
it. Mm-hmm.
I see. And then, so this would have been, you could just collect as much cottage cheese as you bought. You'd have your set. How many of these do you have?
I had about 24 at one time, but I have given several of them away to different relatives.
I see. Now,
so I only have about 16 left, maybe only 12.
I see. Are you one of those collectors who kind of puts it in a curio, or do you use some of your ruby red?
No, I leave it put up. I don't use it.
Now this would be the same.
It's the juice glass, so and it goes with that smaller pitcher there.
I love this pitcher. It's so pretty.
I have the large pitcher that goes with the other glasses, and it stands up taller.
I see. Now, would this have been made by
Anchor Hocking?
This would have been Acre Hocking. Okay, because I know ruby red glass has been around for quite some time, and the older you get, I think the more elaborate the designs get. But this was popular. Became really popular earlier in the 1900s.
Mm-hmm. I think about the 40s and the 50s is when it was, because they made a green also.
Okay, okay. Now I know there's different companies that have made it. You're not really attached to one company though.
No, no.
If it's pretty and it's red, then
if
it comes
it's burgundy,
home with you.
I'll buy it.
Gotcha. Well, did you bring your favorite piece or?
My favorite piece is the rose, and until today, I didn't know it was an Avon.
Well, you know, I had to kind of squint a little bit to read it, but there is a stamping of Avon on the back of the leaf. This is beautiful. I've never seen this. It was a perfume decanter of some sort, I guess you would call it. But it's beautiful. I can see why that would be your favorite. Where did you acquire that one?
I don't remember.
Just out?
I used to go to auction sales in antique stores, and if I liked it, I bought it.
I see. Are you still acquiring pieces, or?
Yeah, because that knife out in front there, my sister Alice got for me just this last year when she went someplace.
I see. Now, we got to meet your sister on a previous show. She was our thimble collector.
Yes.
I enjoyed talking with her. Now, who's older?
Me.
Okay, so you're the boss.
Yes.
Well, you got her trained to find some pretty pieces.
I'm the oldest, but she's the biggest. She's tallest.
Okay, so it kind of balances out the power.
I used to tell people I was the biggest sister, but then she'd look at me and they'd look at me and they'd look up at her, and I said, okay, I'm the oldest one.
There you go. Qualify that. Well, this is really cool. I've never seen one like this.
It's a cake knife.
It's a cake knife, and you don't know what company made that. It's got some sort of floral, like a daisy impression on there. There, if I can get the light to hit it. That is lovely. So this was a present from Alice. Nice. Now, I love this basket. What can you tell me about it?
I got it someplace in an antique store, and I have a larger one just like it, and I think the larger one is Fenton, but I wouldn't swear to that either. But I just liked it.
Well, I know Fenton did make ruby red glass. They're popular for their, is it the coins that Fenton made? I think they have the coin stamp around them. There's a popular ruby red coin stamp.
Yes.
I think Fenton made those, but yeah, this is beautiful, and you can tell it's handmade. It's still got the little pointille on the bottom of it, but it's beautiful. And I also love this lamp. This is,
And I got that indicator at an antique store in the old depot where the downtown. And I also have a larger one, and I have a vase of the same stuff.
I see.
And I just liked them.
Yeah, do you ever burn this one?
No.
Okay, because it doesn't look like the wick's even been used, but it's, I bet it glows beautifully with a little light behind it. It would be really pretty.
I never thought about that. Probably would.
Oh, come on, break out the oil this Christmas.
Nope, I've got some regular old kerosene lamps that I'll use for that.
Okay, understood. So we were talking about how you just, it doesn't really matter if it's like Depression glass era or old or new. If you love it, then it's going to come home with you. I want to show some of these other pieces. This little red bottle, for instance, you know, do you think this is probably a more recent
No,
production?
I think that's an older bottle.
Okay.
Because they used to put lids, they didn't used to put lids on them and that, and had a cork in it when I bought it.
Yeah, that would be pretty up in a windowsill. Do you ever put any up in
No,
a windowsill?
I keep them all in china cabinets where the kids can't get to them.
And you don't have to dust them that way.
Yeah, you do too.
Oh, you do? It gets in there
Oh,
anyway.
yes, you do. But no, I have several grandkids, and I don't leave it out.
I see. This one's really pretty. It kind of has a kind of like a candle wick base. I don't know if that's
I have
actual
a whole
candle
set
wick.
of those, and I got them at an auction sale someplace.
Very lovely. I really like that one. Now, what about these other little bottles out here?
Those are Wheaton is the company that makes them, and they're just, I think they're just replicas of medicine
reproduction?
bottles, because they've got writing on them, but I can't read it anymore.
I see. Oh yeah, it's an elixir. So this
Yeah.
probably was a reproduction of an old elixir
That's what I
bottle.
think those are, because this one here has Jenny Lind on it, and they have different people on some of them. But I've got a whole bunch. I've got 26 of those too. But they were pretty red, so I bought them.
Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful. Now, you said before we started our interview, we were talking a little bit. You'd acquired a few of these bases before, but hadn't realized that it was actually a candle.
No.
Until you found this one, and it had a candle in it. This was Anchor Hawking, ruby red, and it's got a little tin lid on it, but it's actually a candle inside. But you're not burning it, are you?
No. Nope, I don't burn that one either.
I understand. I do. I understand. Now, another piece that I love is this punch bowl. Now, do you have a whole set of these little cups that go with it?
I have. I think there's 14 or 16 cups that go with it.
Okay.
And I bought that over at Rockville at Covered Bridge Festival in an antique store one year. And I've had it ever since, and I love it.
So pretty. Now, would you ever let Alice borrow any of your ruby red?
If she was careful with it.
If she left you some of her thimbles as a ransom, right?
No, I'd lose the thimbles.
Well, what's unique about this punch bowl and why I like it so much is that the bowl lifts off and there's an actual base that it sits on. That's really unique. I had not seen one of these before. Have you ever run across another one like it?
No, but it must be, I think it's made by Anchor Hawking, because I had a book, someplace at my house I have a book, and it was listed in that book, and if you had the base, it was more valuable than if you didn't have. But I don't remember how much it was worth.
I see. Sometimes it's better not to know.
My kids can find out.
Oh, well, that is just really pretty. So is there like one piece out there that you know is out there that you would love to find?
No,
It's just you'll know it when you see it, huh?
I just like to buy all of it.
Sure. How many pieces of ruby red do you think you have?
Oh my. I have 2 china cabinets full, and one china cabinet has shelves down below it, and they're full too. I need a 3rd china cabinet.
Is that what you're asking for Christmas this year from your husband?
No, I don't have room to put a 3rd china cabinet.
I see. Now, I mentioned your husband. Does he collect anything in particular?
No, my husband passed away in 2007.
I see. Well, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's
But did he
all right.
put up with your collecting okay?
Oh, yes. And he didn't mind when Alice and I and Mary took off and went on our little trips either.
Oh, so is that your other, Mary is your other sister?
Yes, she passed away the same year my husband did.
I see. So you and Mary and Alice would go on buying trips together.
And we'd take our mom with us sometimes, and sometimes we'd go by ourselves.
Well, that sounds like fun. Where are your favorite places to go? Do you like flea markets, or do you prefer antique stores, or?
Either one,
Okay.
whichever is available, that's what we go to.
Sure. Right.
I mean, we've been to North Carolina and went through Asheville and the Vanderbilt estate and places, and just any place.
I see. Now, where is Anchor Hawking located? I'm not.
It was in Ohio, I think.
Okay. You haven't ever been to their facility though,
No,
where they make?
no. Now, we did stop at a glass factory in Virginia one time when we went to North Carolina and watched them make glass. Oh, that was fascinating.
Oh, I bet.
They were blowing the glass.
Mm-hmm. Did you pick up a piece there?
No. No.
Not there, though, huh?
No, they made expensive stuff there.
Ah, I see.
They made the trophies for the Academy Award, Music, CMA Awards down there.
Well, see, isn't that just the way it goes, though? Sometimes it's not just because you love it, you can get it. You also need to be able to afford it. Well, that's the great thing about Ruby Red is that there's such a spectrum of pieces. That
and you can always find something.
Sure, yeah, from the Avon to the Anchor Hocking. There's Bohemian glass from the 1800s, which has kind of this kind of look to it, where it has some of the crystal.
Well, I didn't know whether that was Bohemian glass or if it was cut glass or lead crystal. I really didn't care. It was just pretty, and so I bought it and the bigger lamp and the vase that went with it.
Well,
they all got the same pattern in it, and I just liked them.
Well, I can see why. It's really lovely, and I'm just going to encourage you to just light it. It won't hurt it. Put a little oil in it. I would love to see what it looked like when it was all lit up. Oh, well, this is a beautiful collection. I know it can be really hard to pack all this up and bring it in, so I really appreciate you coming and sharing some of it with us. Is there anything else you want to share before we end about Ruby Red glass, or anything at all, or?
Not really. I just
hunt you down if we find a good one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got any available, let me know.
Okay. We sure will. Well, thank you so much, Virginia, for joining us in the studio and for bringing this lovely collection.
Thank you for having me.
Let me introduce to you Tom Grissom from Greenup, Illinois. He's joined us here in the studio and brought this beautiful collection of turned pens. You do these yourself. These are beautiful. I can't wait to show you. Thanks for coming, Tom.
Thank you.
So when, first of all, did you get into turning your own pens?
Well, I've been involved with woodworking really since middle school, high school, and it's just kind of something I've kept up with over the years. And I've been turning for a few years.
I see. So what first got you into pens? Why pens?
Well, pens, it's something that's utilitarian. You can use it, so it definitely has a use, but then it also offers so much on the creative side that you can do so much with.
Yeah, I had no idea the variety of things that you can make pens out of. They're just lovely. I just want to start off by looking at your wooden pens.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm familiar. When I heard, turned pens, I'm thinking wood. So you brought some pieces. Tell me how your process starts. How do you pick your wood?
Well, there's a, the sky's the limit as far as variety of woods and things. I generally go out and I like native woods, grown here in Illinois. And this one happens to be just a piece that went out to the firewood pile. And this one happens to be a piece of sycamore. And it doesn't look too much on the outside. But whenever you slice into it, depending upon the species, you get all these wonderful different patterns and things.
Yeah, that is really neat.
And this one's actually something called spalting. So this is a spalted sycamore blank, and that gives you a lot of variety with different veins and things. And as you work with the different types over time, you learn to do different things. We saw this is what's called quarter sawn, and you get these ray patterns and flecks.
So it depends on the way you cut it, the way the pattern shows up.
And then more of a flat sawn, you'll get some of the dark lines and things.
Oh, that's pretty. I guess I've never seen the inside of a sycamore tree. That's beautiful. Is that your favorite wood to turn?
This one happens to be sentimental because this was on my grandfather's farm.
Oh, neat.
So I kind of pick different varieties, depending upon what I do that means something to the person that you're giving the pen to.
Sure. So what are some of the woods that you do use?
Here in Illinois, sycamore and walnut.
Now, is this walnut?
No, that one is actually Australian lacewood.
Okay, yeah, the pattern's really unique.
So yeah, again, depending upon how you cut it, you get the different flakes and patterns and things. That one over there is actually the walnut pen, the one there in front of the box.
Okay.
This one happens to be called a slimline. These are, they get their name from they're very skinny and narrow, but this part here is walnut, and this part here is actually sycamore.
Oh.
So you can do some of the combination units and things together.
Sure.
But walnut, they use walnut on a variety of fine furniture and things, and this is a wonderful wood here in Illinois to turn.
Now these are some other woods.
I have a variety over there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Look Look at the variety. They're beautiful.
Starting over on the left, these are a couple of Cocobolo. Those are a Central American and South American species. It turns wonderful. Got some different types of burl, and then the 4 here in the middle are sycamore. You can see some of the spalting and things in the wood itself.
Yes.
And then India rosewood, and then these are a couple of Australian burls, but they also have, if I can show here, they also have some acrylic inlay.
That's what that is. I thought there's blue in the wood.
So this was actually a void in the wood, and then you can inject the acrylic in there and fill it out.
Oh, I see. So when you say inject, it liquefies?
They put it in there. There's a variety of manufacturers that make different types of blanks, and you get a variety of different types of wood.
I see. So you can order like an acrylic block. So let's look at some of these. That's how you get some of these beautiful patterns.
Yeah, this example here, this is one of the blocks that has the acrylic, kind of the turquoise, and then the dark.
I see. That's pretty. So this would be the acrylic, and then this would be a wood. Really interesting. What is this one? I love this.
Well, take a smell of it.
Those are coffee beans.
Yes.
Look at that.
And actually, pull this pin out here. This is one. That's what you start with. And then whenever you turn it, you end up with one like that.
Look. I heart this one.
And again, that one I left completely unfinished because it turns your workshop into a coffee shop, essentially. It really does smell like ground coffee whenever you finish turning it.
Wow, those are stunning. See, I had no idea. What are some of the other interesting materials that you make your pins out of?
You know, if it can stay together, you can almost turn it. And now with the modern polyresins and casting and things, you can really turn about anything.
Oh.
Now, we didn't talk about this before, and I told you I was going to put you on the spot.
Oh, he's going to make me guess what it is.
So see if you can
I knew
figure
this
out
was
what
coming.
that one.
Oh, my. Wow. It's got little flecks of green and yellow.
And
it almost
spaghetti.
looks like, oh my goodness.
It's pasta.
That's pasta.
Different types of pasta that they've cast.
That is amazing. And so you can order a block. Oh, is that the pasta block right there?
This is what we start with.
Okay, so the before and after.
Yeah, we start out with the square blank.
Okay, so tell me how you get from this to this. What's your process?
Well, it starts, you square up a block, and I had one out here earlier. We start with a square block, and then we end up and drill a hole. So here, for example, I cut this on the bandsaw, and then you drill a hole. So there's various sizes of bits and things that you use to drill the hole. Then there's a brass tube that goes in there. And from there, on your lathe, they make something called a pin mandrel. And that's what this little device right here is. So this goes into your lathe, this goes into the headstock end, and this goes into the tailstock, and this is what spins.
Okay.
So as it spins, I really only use, for 90% of my work, I really only use 2 tools. And this is an example here. This is what I use most. This is called a roughing gouge right here. And that takes it down till it's almost complete. And then whenever I get really close to the final size that I want, I will go ahead and then bring out this skew. And this one does a shear cut, so it makes it polished. And then from there, you do a variety of different sandpaper grits and really start polishing it up.
I see.
So with really not too much, I mean, if you have a pin, already have a lathe, all you really need is this pin mandrel to get you started, and that will get you going.
On the road.
And you're
so
on the road to
a
pin turning.
lathe, that, and a couple tools.
And it's, as they say, it's simple but not easy. It takes lots of practice.
I can only imagine. Yeah, and I think I'll just leave it to you.
Okay.
But show me the kit over there, so you can get a kit. For the metal parts that you need.
There's a variety of mail order companies that sell, and you just go in and buy the different brass tubes and the little ends and things. And like I said, you turn them down to the appropriate size, and then there's actually a press, which I didn't bring today because it's a big bearing press, and I didn't drag it in here. But then you just press the different pieces into the ends.
I see. Now, one of my favorite patterns here is this. This is really cool. What is that?
Well, let's see. Probably many of your listeners can watchers can watch here.
Give them a moment to see if they can figure out what this pattern would be.
Give them a little bit of a tip here.
There you go. That's a big tip.
Oops. Yeah. It's a corn cob.
It's a corn cob. That is so cool.
being here in Illinois and farming and things, I was looking out and it's like, what do I have out there that I could turn?
Sure.
And they actually sell corn cobs, $5, $10 a piece, and I wasn't about to buy a corn cob. So I just go out to the field and harvest them, get different sizes, and then that takes a lot of skill to do that, because at the very end they tend to want to break apart. So sometimes you make 2 or 3 to get a good one.
I understand. Oh, well, these are just lovely. Let me pull up a couple of these. Now, would these all be acrylics then?
Yeah, most of these here are all on the acrylic, and yeah, that turquoise one's an acrylic one. They actually make
I always look at the turquoise because that's my favorite color.
They actually make a turquoise stone that you can turn as well. So you can turn the actual turquoise stone.
Okay.
It takes a little bit different tools, and it's really hard on tools. You have to sharpen your gouges a lot.
Sure. Oh, that's really neat. And you even do some in different sports colors. You say these are your U of I representing here.
What I call the Illini pin for the
Illini pins for blue and orange here. And we've got, of course, we're here at WEIU.
Right. You have to give Eastern its name.
I like this one a lot.
So the blue and white Eastern colors there.
And this would just be 2 different colors of acrylic then that you have used.
Yeah, and there's a variety. There's a lot of chemistry that goes involved with making the ones, and each one turns a little bit differently, so you have to get used to the way the different ones, turn.
I see.
You just kind of do it by feel.
I see. Well, I really want to show these. Now, tell us, because these are really special. These are bullet.
Yeah, that's what I call the bullet pins.
So I'm going to hold them here, and you just tell us what they are made of.
Okay. Well, there's variety. The one there, clear over here, is urban camo.
Okay.
And again, you just have a block. Start with something like that, and it turns into that.
Okay.
This one here is actually deer antler.
Oh.
So, a lot of sportsmen and things want to have something representative of that. And
sure.
Then the one next to it is, this is just a creused camo. Again, you start with a block like that.
Okay.
Go there.
Now this is...
Yeah, that's the
big
one.
gun.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
50 caliber machine gun.
Wow.
So,
okay, and then now these have specific bullets that you've used for
right.
these.
The last 3 over here, corn cob, again, a couple of different camo, a blue camo and a woodland camo. But those are a little bit special. This, 2011, it's the 150th year of the Civil War.
Oh,
and
yes.
those are Civil War pins.
Oh.
So what some of the pin manufacturers have done, have made a replica of the top bullet is actually the mini ball, which was the most popular bullet used in the Civil War. And the rifle clip here is actually an 1860 Springfield.
Oh.
And then the bottom one is an Army Colt revolver bullet.
Okay.
So.
Well, those are really neat.
Those
Yeah,
are
I like the way
actually
the clip
life
is a
size.
gun there.
Yeah, actual size.
Very cool. Now, are you making lots of Christmas presents, Tom?
Yes. Yeah, this time of year, as I said, I'm kind of getting stocked up for a few Christmas gifts and things.
Now, your regular job is you work in IT here at the university.
Yeah, I work with technology, so I always like having the hands-on component to kind of balance things out.
Sure.
And that's really important, I think, is just keep that balance between the bullets and things.
Sure.
And then the last one I'll share with you is what I call the teacher's pin.
Oh, look at that. It's a double.
So one end it's red ink and one end it is black.
Oh, I
So
see.
you can just switch depending on whether you're grading or marking up, and switch between red and black.
Oh, what a great idea. I don't want to lose it there. Oh, that's neat. Well, there's such a variety here, and they're so colorful. Thank you so much for bringing them in and
You're very
sharing
welcome.
them with us. They're
welcome.
really beautiful, Tom.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Hobbies, Crafts, and Collectibles. If you know someone we should talk to, please let us know. We'll see you next time.